Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including four-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a four-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
Three-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a three-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare two laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome to Talladega, here for the ARL NASCAR B-Class Series here in the beautiful state of Alabama at the beautiful, amazing super speedway of Talladega. I'm Austin. I'm joined by Sam Fitzpatrick with Hex Valentine. In the comms box, we have the wonderful Samulu Kumo in the production booth. You're here live watching Apex Racing TV.
And we are getting to the final stages of this season. We've just got a couple more rounds after this one, so it is really crunch time for this championship. And after visiting the smallest circuit of the calendar last time, we go to the biggest one, and good to see a little bit of a higher turnout as well for this round of the championship. Hex, this one is going to be, or it has the potential at least, to go absolutely, maddening. Anyone could win this.
Yeah, Talladega really is a mixed bag, especially when it comes to oval racing. It's either going to be the cleanest racing you've ever seen, or it's going to be a chaotic race.
It certainly could be, like you said, a bag of mixed marbles, chaotic, or it could be pretty clean. You get massive draft packs here. One bad bump draft can really mess up your race and cause a giant crash and make this a endurance race of attrition. Or everyone's going to be keeping it clean all the way to that checker flag, and then we're going to get a full-blown excitement mode after here. And, we don't have that many cars on the grid right now. We have about 16 cars on our timing tower. And, with a small field like this, I feel like it's going to be more the second than we're going to get a very exciting race near the end. But at the front, it's just all going to be about track positioning and making it to the end of the race.
Yeah, I think so. They've got one faster pair at their disposal as well, but as we've seen throughout the season, and I think we'll mention it quite a bit, it's all about keeping that faster pair spare for the final kind of 10-15 laps kind of portion of the race. And so, but that's not necessarily the easiest thing to do. To stay on the lead lap as well is crucial in the championship. Andrew Roos has been on a monumental run of form recently, I believe, and I might be getting the figures slightly wrong. I believe he's won 4 of the past 6 races in Apex Racing League NASCAR. He's won the last 3 on the trot, and he now leads the championship by a pretty large 15 points, considering that that's with the drop score. Even if Roos didn't score any points in this round and Repusade won the race, Roos would still keep the championship lead, so it's looking excellent right now for the Hungarian, who's got all the momentum. Repusade, who has won a race this season, in 2nd place, and Jacob Reed in 3rd position.
Yeah, he does have 4 wins for Andrew Roos, but in the amateur standings, Kevin Kittleman is leading that championship by a small margin ahead of Sergei Glaskov and Mark Hutchison in 3rd place. They're very tightly with each other, and with 2 rounds left in the series, points going to start really getting very crucial. Kev Copland sits in 4th with Thor Tulo in 5th. Mark Redford, we were talking with him after last race and before this race. He seems excited and trying to get into that top 5 for the AMS championship.
Yeah, and Mark hasn't been able to do a number of the rounds this season, and has had very bad luck when he has done it. He led for much of the Daytona race, which is probably the most similar event we got to this Talladega circuit. So watch out for Redford. He will certainly be at the... When it comes to qualifying, we're currently in practice. We've got 1 more minute of practice, then we'll have 5 minutes of qualifying. So pretty much the entire session will be filled up because the drivers will have 4 laps to set. Really, the qualifying order could be anything, but once we get to the race, I expect to see those top championship runners move up through the order, at least for qualifying, with all the drivers by themselves. Yeah, we could see the top half of the grid all AMs. We could see the top half of the grid all pros. It's really could be that.
Yeah, practice. 30 seconds left in practice before we head into qualifying. Hex, you've done a few qualifying runs here at Talladega. What are the go fast secrets around here?
Well, usually my go fast secret is just do not lift. There's definitely, the track is long enough to just flat out the whole thing through. Go high on the approach and go low into the turns and let the car carry you.
Yeah, it seems pretty simple about that. Going fast to get track position is always, how we determine qualifying here. But, it's all about going fast and being safe in the race. And, draft packs and going fast on your own is always a whole different caboodle, as some might say. Right, Hex?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Hopefully these draft packs, they're going to be bumping each other to get drivers moving down faster, but hopefully those bumps don't turn into a huge big one.
I mean, I don't have a whole lot of experience around this track, but with the drivers now going out for qualifying, will the drivers be able to generate enough momentum heading onto their first lap in order to set really a representative time, or will it be laps 2, 3, 4, which will be the only really representative times, because it takes a little while to get to top speed in these cars.
Well, usually after lap 1, your tires will be ready to go, so you're going to be looking to lay down your fastest times around 2 and 3, and then 4 is where it's going to be a little bit harder to post your fastest time, but around that 2 to 3 lap zone is where you're really looking to put down that time.
As we see Mark Hutchison take it to that top line, heading into NASCAR, into turns 3 and 4. This isn't Daytona, but I just got confused right there. Staying on that outside, heading into the tri-oval. Now the start-finish line is not in the tri-oval. It's a little bit after the tri-oval right there, so he does have more opportunity to get that momentum up, but I'm expecting him to stay up high for the first lap, and then the second lap is where everyone's going to go for these flyer of the laps. It's not like in IndyCar where it's usually the first lap that's the faster one, and then every other lap after that starts to slow down a bit because the tires are just being used to smithereens.
Oh yeah, absolutely cooked.
Still flat out. Still flat out.
It looks deceivingly slow, I must say.
Yes,
It almost
it
doesn't seem like
does.
he's on full dots because the track is so wide around this place and it's so easy to keep it pinned. But Hutchinson really trying to go as high as possible. Will he start to maybe go a little bit lower when he starts this
Right
lap?
here.
Tries to go a bit faster, and yes, it seems to be his push lap now. So his second lap does get 4 laps to set. And yes, on the laps so far coming in, expect them to be beat, expect them to be getting into the 50. This is the usual point that I'd go and look at the practice times to see what the fastest time was, because that would be heavily altered because some drivers would be able to get a draft and a bump draft potentially on those laps. So we're not quite sure exactly how fast these cars can go. But I think we're going to get a pretty good idea. These second laps should be much more of a
Yeah, second lap right here is what's really going to say who's got the juice going on right now. You know, some drivers are also serving a qualifying ban, I believe. Some of them are not even going onto the track. I know it's a lot. I know Alessandro Dalladone, he actually invalidated his first. How do you invalidate? I think Alessandro Dalladone is driving backwards or something. He's doing...
He might have left the pits a bit wonky. Might have crossed the double yellow before he crossed the blue.
Coasting. Did he blow his engine?
It's all part of the plan. It's all part of the plan. As Redford
He's just going
has
for a
gone to the
parade
top.
lap.
I think he might have blown his engine. Or something. Alessandro.
No, he's probably using the fuel. He's probably trying to burn off some fuel. That's what I'm thinking. Not
He's
using
already done
up
one
the
lap
tires.
though. And it's invalidated.
Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe he found the road course or something somehow. I'm not sure. First lap's in the books. You can see it's currently Redford, Modos, O'Shea. But let's see if these second lap times are going to be any different. Modos crosses the line. In fact, Modos has got 1 extra lap compared to everyone else in store, but he can improve that time round. Not too much movement, at least from what I can see on the timing tower. Still Redford with the slight advantage. Nethery will be the next across the line, I believe. Can he move his way up? And he stays in 7th position as well. So 1 more lap at least for Nethery and 1 more lap for most of the drivers still. Well, in fact, Redford and O'Shea back to the pits.
Yeah, Mark Redford currently sitting on provisional pole right there. And, you know, we were talking with him before the race, and to quote him, I see Hutchison up there at the front. I don't like that. As Alessandro Dalladone, come on, you just got a little bit more to go. You got to just push. You know, use that momentum. Lean forward in the cockpit. Come on, you got this.
He's got the spirit for sure.
I
mean, this is going to be a hard lap to beat.
Yeah. Absolutely. We're watching this in slow motion right here. You know, if Ricky Bobby can run across the line and that counts, he could definitely do this.
And it's a 53.9.
Oh, he missed out on qualifying!
No.
No, he's just going so fast, we can't see him anymore. He's invisible to the naked eye.
It's gone back in time.
Oh.
Roos, by the way, just improving on that last lap. May have just missed it right at the end. Got up to 6th position, so good effort there from Andrew Roos. The qualifying is set, and once again, it's Redford at the top. He is excellent on these super speedways. He's ahead of Modos. O'Shea with, I believe, his best qualifying of the season. Good to see Modos actually up there as well. He's had a few tricky rounds. Glasgow up there in 4th. Vince Harley, Andrew Roos, championship leader, of course, going for 4 in a row tonight. Going to be very tricky to do that. Mark Hutchinson in 7th, then it's Jason Nethery, Thor Chule, Matthew Sophie, Kev Copeland, Kevin Kittleman is in 12th, leader of the Amateur Championship. Remember, just needs some solid finishes, does Kittleman. And then Reed didn't do qualifying. Repusard didn't do qualifying. Hopefully he takes the start. Beeler is in 15th. Then it's Korolev, who was barred from qualifying. Donny didn't end up setting a lap, and Adam Wright, I think, may have been barred from qualifying. No, he wasn't. So Wright, just a bunch of judges didn't set qualifying times. Hopefully we see them all on the grid, just waiting for Reed, Repusard, Korolev, and Dalladone still to get on.
Yeah, it's time to get ready to go, and you know, we do have Mark Redford standing by with us, so let's bring him into the booth. And Mark, this is Austin in the booth. Do you copy?
Hello, Austin. I can hear you loud and clear.
Well, you got a P1 pole position. You got the sweet spot like you were talking about in practice. How you feeling about this race?
Well, it's a lottery, this place. So you finish where you finish, depending on what happens.
Yeah, you definitely do. But, you know, qualifying up front, are you feeling a little bit better about how maybe this race might go?
We'll see. I'll see how it is at the front. And if I don't like it, I'll probably bail to the back. But we'll see. If I get a partner to push or work with me, then we'll try and work together.
All right. Well, the pace car is pulling off right now. I'm going to leave you be, and you know, good luck on the race, Mark.
Yeah, thank you. Enjoy the race.
This is Mark Redford. Always happy to hear from him. Such a nice guy.
You know, I may be biased, but I really love his livery.
Yeah, he does run a very nice livery on that car.
So who are your guys' drivers to watch tonight?
Ooh. You know,
Well, I think
you know, I'm going to let statistics. I don't want to be biased, but Alessandro Talladega, he knows what to do on super speedways. Even if his qualifying performance and what he's doing right now is completely out of whack. But,
well, it seems like a lot of drivers had the similar thinking of, we don't want to be in the pack, we want to drop to the back. But so many drivers did that. I can't think everyone, well, Repusard did it, Wright did it, Bieler did it, Talladega did it. Then you throw in the guys who weren't allowed to qualify in the form of Reed and Kohler. And you got a very competitive back end of the field. It'll be interesting to see if they can move through. But in answer to who to watch out for, I think you got to watch out for Reese. He somehow always manages to find his way up to the front, albeit his worst round of the season was Daytona. So maybe he will struggle in comparison to the superior form he's shown recently.
And Alessandro's best round was Daytona, where he took the win. So, you know, that...
Well, Kitzelman took the overall win, I would say.
Yeah. But he took the pro win. Kevin Kittleman took the AM win with Alessandro pushing him to victory, where it came down to 4 cars at the end, and, you know, it got pretty crazy at the end. We're going to see who's got the guts, who's got the glory here at Talladega. Pace car is pulling off, and, you know, we don't start till after the tri-oval, but, you know, that's where the flag stand is. We're all going on when Redford goes. Everyone's all lined up, packed up, ready to go. We're here in Alabama. Just 2 rounds remaining here in the ARL NASCAR B-Class Championship. And it's green, green, green here. And here we go racing at Talladega, boys.
With a decent launch, but well, Models is staying fairly close as we get these long trains of cars. No one going 3 wide just yet, but no one really dropping back either. Maybe the 68 forming a slight gap in the form of Kev Copeland to the cars ahead. They will bunch up back together again on the back straights. Talladega just hanging back at the moment. We haven't had a lap 1 wreck all season long. We're halfway through lap 1 for this round of the championship.
And Motos drops on the top line, gets a great push on the super stretch, dropping down to that bottom line now, takes over the lead from Mark Redford. And, you know, Redford being behind Motos, that's going to leave that top line out of whack just a little bit. But, you know, starting to see drivers start swapping around, you know, going from the bottom line to the top line, and then vice versa. You know, we do have a few cars just hanging off the back in case something happens up front. You know, they expect that they can dodge and bob and weave their way through it. Drivers do have a faster pair in this series, and so, you know, they do get wrecked early on. They can still be in there. As one car drops all the way down low, that would be Vince Hartley. Mark Redford also dropping down to let everyone by as well. Oh, watch off of that rejoin 3 wide. Redford getting back onto the oval right in front of Bila. And I feel like Mark's saying, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I was just running out of space right there. And, you know, let him have that bottom line and back off right there. So Mark feeling a little bit scared as 3 wide up front.
Yeah, that bottom line is really where you want to be in these races, especially the speedway races, so you can get that turn advantage in, so you're getting in and out of these and wasting less time, so you get right back on that straightaway, especially if you're in the middle of the pack, catch that draft, and hopefully chase down the leader when you get the opportunity to do so.
Speaking of the middle, Sergey Glaskov, the lone car stuck in the middle right there, is pretty wide, taking up all 3 lanes of dotted traffic out there. Diving to the bottom of, that's the Indy Autosports 34. Jason Nethery dropped down to that second row as well. Sergey Glaskov now went from the guy in no man's land to leading that second row right there, trying to catch up and get some overtakes around the lead. Now that top line is kind of pulled away as everybody is now stacked up and everything. There's actually a little bit of separation between Tulo at the bottom line and Hutchison and Motos up ahead. And that little separation is going to allow, oh wait, who's up? Who is Glaskov behind? Hutchison went up to the second line to pick up and block right there. And oh, Glaskov dropping down low, blocking Motos right there. That was smart.
Surprised that worked for Glaskov. He was a little bit by himself for a while in the middle, and then eventually managed to get some good speed up. And has been taken second place, going to be in line for the lead. And wow, this is frantic racing. I thought they might be a little bit more passive than this at Daytona. They were fairly passive, honestly, for the first probably half of the race before it got a bit crazy. But in this one, they are trying to go for positions immediately. He got the very high line. I think that's Selfie trying to move his way up. He's gained a lot of places so far. He's up 8. Kitzman up 8. Reed up 8 as well. Reed was barred from qualifying, which doesn't seem much of a penalty, at least here at Talladega. That's the 3 rows. Almost dead level, really not much of a pace difference between them.
Using the, who were not qualifying, using the newly introduced ready to race button?
Quite possible. But with Talladega being as wide as it is, you're going to see a lot more aggressive pushes and a lot more aggressive moves here, just given with how big the track is.
You know, this is reminding me, I don't know, Sam, if you've been to sporting events, but, you know, they usually have a thing in America where they show up a little color. It's like, which lane's going to win this race? And then they have a little video play, and everyone starts cheering A, B, or C, and like a lucky section will win something if people that they guess are right. This is kind of looking at this, one of those right now. We got lane A, lane B, and lane C. Which one's going to win this race right now? We're still 3 wide, 3 rows deep right now, and I can see that tail going a little bit longer by everybody behind him, because currently that top line, getting that speed out there. The 34 can drop down low and cut off Hutchison right there. But it looks like the top 2 lines have a little bit more committed pushers than that bottom line. But, 3 wide for this long is really cool to see.
Oh, there's a bit of smoke. What was that?
Yeah.
Was that content? And now
31's
we've
blown up this engine. Redford's engine is gone. And we got a crash.
Now
we got a crash. Bila, the 68 and 33 Motos involved.
Yellow flag.
Kev Copland, no.
We might only see Redford have to take the faster pair here. I don't know what the contact was like elsewhere, but Copeland seems to have kind of got away with that one, also.
Yeah, I'm not sure whose engine blew. I think I said Redford by accident. It was Reed. It was Reed.
Well, he was storming through. He was very quick with Reed.
I think he was just too buried in that draft and overheated the car. Might have got a little bit too aggressive on the bumping. And we see there it goes, right there. And he just drops down. You can see the smoke emitting right there. And, you know, the crash was completely separate from him. It was Kev Copland and Bila. I think, you know, they were getting out of the way of Reed and trying to get back. Can we watch that wreck from Reed's point of view? Or Hudson. So there's the drop down. So completely separate. They're 3 wide right there. And
a bit of a squeeze, wasn't it, from Copeland?
Yeah, Bila was Bila was just nowhere to go. He was just trying to hold his line. Kev was just trying to make it 3 wide through an extremely small gap right there. But you know, he really tore up his car. Did Dow Dunning get involved in that?
Nah, he was right. He must have missed it, surely.
Well, Dow Dunning doesn't have a front bumper.
Ah. No, he's lost that already.
Yeah.
Or did he go into Reed? Maybe he went into... No, I don't think he's... Oh, yeah, he did hit Reed. You can see the damage on the back of Reed's car.
Alessandro, all that.
He's probably on his phone knowing him. As everyone's in, well, a few people are in. Hutchinson, so ironically, Copeland stays out despite being in that wreck. Hutchinson now leads. It's the top 4 amateurs. But most drivers pitting wanting to get those fresh tyres and wanting to get fuel. I don't think you can fuel up to get to the end from here. But it wouldn't be far off.
What can happen with the strategy of staying out is they're probably going to stay out, head into the pits in the second run, and just, get their way to the back of the pack. They don't want to be up there. Or they feel like their car's all right. Kev, I'm not sure what he's doing. He's got a lot of damage on that side of his car. Yeah, as we take a look at that, the side of the car is looking like a cheese grater's met a match with some really sharp cheddar.
And you see the 55, his hood's a little out of place. Hopefully that won't affect his aero too much.
Around here, aero is key.
I mean, we've learned already that cooling is a problem. I think Models
the blown engine
has got the right thinking, honestly. I think he's playing this in 4 dimensions right now, by slightly making a bit of a gap in that bonnet. We'll see if it works out. Bieler quite slow in the pit lane, but he is back out. Now, did he take a faster pair?
No,
or
he
does that
didn't.
still have
He
damage?
didn't. He did not take a faster pair right there. You can tell somebody's used a faster pair if they just if their pit box time is around the same amount of time that we usually see for a pit box. Some drivers just taking fuel. Sufi, O'Shea, and Thortulo taking fuel. Redford hopped in there. 15 seconds in the box. 15 seconds for Ruse and Korolev. And then Adam Wright was in the pits for 21 seconds. Bila in there for 39. Vince Hartley, 53. And then Jacob Reed, that's a faster pair time of 12 seconds. So one faster pair being used by the field right now. Are we going to be seeing any of the top drivers? Yes, there we go. There goes Motos. There comes Sufi. There comes Redford. Here comes Ruse. Here comes Korolev again. Vince Hartley into the pits. Jacob Reed back into the pits. They're going to be filling up on fuel and taking repairs on that car. They're just doing that for track position now. They don't want to be up front. They feel like, we were 3 wide for so many laps, and, I don't want to see that happening. Alessandro Dalladone driving a modified out there. NASCAR's going to have a look at that very soon.
Did not take his faster pair. Maybe he knows something we don't.
Engine staying cool. And you know what? If it still runs at the end of the race, it's good. He's just going to be away from the pack, and I feel like Dalladone might feel like it might still be a chaos-filled race. And he's sporting that new Jeb sponsorship, Jeb from Kerbal Space Program. He's opened up a scrapyard dealership in there, and so I'm guessing parts of his car is sourced from there. Have you ever played Kerbal Space Program?
Unfortunately, I have not.
A little bit, but very, very little. But I think I get the gist. I'm just thinking of, when he's in a wreck later on, he flies over the fence, how many jokes we can make about him.
Oh, absolutely. Launched off into space, crashing into the ground. That's another failed experiment. We aren't sure what's going on here.
Yeah, I'm more of a Tarkov and RimWorld and Destiny 2 type of guy.
Nice. I've been playing a lot of the new Halo that came out here, and I almost missed the call time for this.
Oh man, don't get me talking about Halo. We're gonna miss the whole race. I can go on for it for about 5 hours.
Yeah, but the game that we all love and live and breathe is iRacing here. iRacing dropped that massive update. Not much for the oval cars, but love the new content here. Mercedes looks nice. Those touring cars, and Knockhill is a lot of fun as well. But speaking of a lot of fun, pace cars in. Let's go back to green flag racing. We're already going green, and look at the separation by the field already. Nobody is really getting really close to each other. They're actually all spread out right now. I feel like they're just trying to get a run and then line up. But yeah, the first 5 cars are locked up with each other. Then it's a giant line, and then about 10 cars back, we actually see our group of cars that were involved and just don't want to be with these drivers up here. Yeah, we got our first Talladega pass going on these super speedways. Group 1 being led by Hudson, Group 2 being led by Redford, Group 3 being led by Motos. And if you look at who's in Motos' group, Tony Repsar, P2 of the championship, is in there. In Group 2, it's Andrew Roos. He's in that group.
Just a reminder of what the colours on the timing tower indicates. The white means amateur, red means pro. I point that out because you may be thinking, or might be quite confused right now.
Yes.
Of what you would expect, but trust me, by the end of the race, we have seen this in the past in this series. The red numbers will be able to move up, particularly watch out for Reed, Hassan and Dardoni, those guys. Second, third and fourth in the championship, I believe. Kohler, of course, is very good. Roos is there in 12th place. So you've got the top 5 at the moment, all outside the top 11. Or top 5 in the championship, all out of the top 11 in this race. So expect to see some changes as the 2 packs, well, there were 3 packs, then it turned into 2 packs, and now it's turning into 1. So it didn't last too long, the separation. Still only 2 wide, but I think it's only a matter of time until we see a little bit of 3 wide action.
Yeah, it's still 2 packs now. Redford's group caught up to them. And they got a big pack behind them. Repsar, Daldone, and Motos. Motos actually drove back into the pit. So something might be going off with his car or something, but dove back into the pits. 50 seconds on. There's Motos right there. He's going to go to the top line and move back. You see the trailing cars with Daldone and Tony Repsard miles behind everybody else. So Motos feeling something not right with his car. Decided that'd be best to go into the pits underneath green flag. Didn't take a faster curve though. So I think he's just checking if he's got repairs left for his car, but he's going to be getting into his pack and staying with everybody. But Moto's first car a lap down. This is definitely not the way he wanted his race to go.
No, surely not.
He just needs to wait until the next caution. We'll get that lucky dog as the only driver 1 lap down. His main improve form, at least he has got the pace to keep up with these guys. You know, on full 2 laps down, of course, but he does seem to at least have the pace to stay in the lead pack as Gittman just moving a nose ahead of Hutchinson. Also O'Shea making some good progress. He's just on the outside at Meg Copeland, despite that wreck earlier on, running up in 5th position as it stands. So Gittman just loses out. He'll get a better exit though from turn 4. So we head on to lap 14 of this race. Still very early stages, still the survival stage of this race. We're a long way away from the mayhem, which will come in the last 5 or 10 laps.
Yeah, we're calling that mayhem 5-10 laps. I'm going to call the mayhem a little bit earlier when everybody goes into green flag pit stops. Some drivers might not have a text chat on. You know, I love that feature in iRacing where you just turn off text messages when you're driving. Really helps avoid confusion on the road and just people complaining about incidents and racing. The one thing though, in oval racing, you kind of need that when everyone's saying, "Hey, I'm going to the pits," and you know when the top 5 cars in your race have not gone into the pits yet, that can really cause a little bit of trouble because you know we got cars that went into the pits on lap 7 to lap 8. Right now, they're going to have a bigger fuel tank, and you know they're going to be separated a little bit, and this might turn into a fuel mileage game if everybody plays calm and plays nice with each other. But at the start, we saw them go 3 wide. O'Shea looking for that top line. As here comes Kev Copeland down to the inside right there. We're going to see another 3 wide move, or is O'Shea just going high? Yeah, O'Shea's just playing safe by going high right there. I saw the black and green machine of Kev Copeland, whose car still looks a little bit banged up. He's dragging his way back into 3rd in row with that line underneath the 88 of O'Shea.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how you didn't turn off the text chat? That's where all the funny ha-has are at.
When you have severe ADHD like me, you're always looking at the thing.
Oh man, that's why I have the multi-monitor problem. Can't keep my eyes on one fixture.
Well, we see that second pack grouping up. O'Shea's just sitting on that top line. I think O'Shea just wants to be at the back of the pack, but still with everybody. It's an odd strategy, but he's obviously driving up. He might be dealing with a little bit of cooling issue. Simuli, can we get a weather check up here? It's 82 degrees on track, 79 degrees in the air, 56% humidity. It's a little bit cloudy. I'm expecting not much drivers to have a bunch of cooling issues, but that might be what's happening. His engine might be a little bit overheated. I don't think that super has been involved in wreck, though.
No, it has not yet.
I think he's just cooling down the engine. Look at those stages. There goes Glasgow looking up high. He's been buried in the bumper of car ahead of him, so we're going to start seeing drivers on this back straight start to fan out just a little bit, find that clean air, and start to try to cool that engine down. And looking at O'Shea's front bonnet, there is a little bit of a dent on the right side of it.
Yeah, a little bit of damage onto these drivers. Just a reminder of the championship format, as we have got very wide, storming through the middle, and that is that's Reed wasting no time at all to try to make his way up. You can see his name on the windshield banner. Just a reminder though of the championship situation at the moment. Roos 15 points clear of Repusade. Roos has beaten Repusade at every round of the championship, I think bar 2, so he's beaten it at 4 out of the 6, and I think he has beaten in the last 3 in a row. Really, for Repusade to have a chance in the championship, needs to at least beat his championship rival tonight. But at the moment, well, they're both just waiting behind still, just maybe playing the smart game. Still, Jacob Reed still in play. Talladega probably with a very slim chance at the title. They're all really hoping that Reese has a bad few rounds. If Reese finishes in the podium in every of the remaining rounds, this one and Homestead next week, he should be home and dry for the championship. And in the amateurs, Kitzelman in the lead, and he's got a very strong cap over Glasgow. He really needs to win these last 2 races in order to bring it back. So yeah, just watch out for Kitzelman and Kitzelman and Reese out there. They just need to make sure they get a couple of safe results in the remaining 2 rounds. Should be our first ever Apex Racing League B class champions in history.
That top line is looking a little bit feisty. They're really pushing through the olds. They're a lot more locked in there. So, if they continue like this, that bottom line stays a little bit separation. We're going to be able to push up. But Glasgow in that second spot is providing me with a little bit worry. He doesn't seem that stable behind Kevin Kittelman. You see him dipping outside, dipping low, a little bit of weaving action. Hex says this might be becoming a problem very soon.
It could be a problem. I think everybody's trying to cool down their engines in the middle of the pack here in the draft pack, as we saw somebody already blew their engine earlier. So as they're weaving in and out, they got to make sure that they're not clipping the cars below or above them. Otherwise, we're going to get another turnaround here.
Well, as the back of Sergei Glasgov's car bumper does say, as Reed is behind him, it says, "Keep calm, trust me." So he obviously knows what he's doing. But
yeah, I'd love to get a look at their gauges just to see what temps these middle of the packs are running.
Pretty high, I can guarantee you. And from the roll bar, I don't think we can see the gauge details. Actually, we can. Jacob Reed is running currently about 202, if that is actually moving. Running about 202. We can confirm this as we go on to Hutchison's view. What does Hutchison have? Yeah, it's blocked by the blue. Thank you. Thank you, boards.
Saw 202 as well.
All right. Nobody knows what's going on here. It's a dice roll. But I'm guessing Sergey is just, you know, he's got an opportunity to dive down low right there. The opportunity is there, but it's currently being taken by the 68 of Kevin Copeland. You know, temperatures are always going to be important, so I'm guessing he's just going with that temperature, but, you know, Jacob Reed's going to have to, you know, try not to get that lead foot out. It's going to have to actually not try to get caught up in that draft because Glasgow is weaving around like crazy. I'm going to be honest, ooh, big checkup right there.
And of course the engine is partly down to overheating, but at least on the road side of things, in my experience, very much down to luck as well. It can pop whenever, whenever it likes really. Seen it in the supercars in particular. Of course, downshifts often cause it as well. Often you do absolutely nothing wrong, and yet it still expires does the engine. So maybe Reed was unlucky on that occasional bit. He is particularly suspicious, seeing as he was making lots of overtakes, was clearly pinning it quite a bit. And well, he's
fantastic
his
run
way
by
through
the top line.
Familiar, really.
They cleared him.
Slaloming about is Glasgow, but that was a firm shove.
Yeah, Glasgow. Oh, he could have taken that bottom line, but he doesn't. There's a little bit of contact with him and Hutchison. An undecisive Sergey Glasgow, and that's allowed Kevin Kittleman to take the lead. But here comes Hutchison going onto the outside line right in front of Glasgow. Glasgow now is going to be able to push Hutchison. I think Hutchison's okay with having Glasgow behind him, not beside him, and he's going to wish for that outside line push as well. Is there more cars than that outside line? But Glasgow, goes up high. There's a checkup by Reed. Bila gets to the back of Reed right there. And, you know, I feel like a few drivers might be shouting at Glasgow right now. It's like, either stay in line or else it's going to turn into a nasty thing. And I feel like drivers might start dropping that below because they're starting to see this front pack get a little bit spicy.
I mean, there's two different philosophies at battling. We've got the top 9, who are all battling. And then we got right and back, who are just hanging back. They know that there is no point in battling. So yeah, top 9 all alongside one another. And then the 27 and all the way down to Talladega in 17th, just deciding to wait their time. They know that a wreck is coming in the future. They can profit from that.
O'Shea's got damage. O'Shea's been into the wall. You can see the back right side of his car. He might have hit the wall at some point. It's a little bit lifted off. I believe that was from the first crashes. So he's just been driving on that top side, which is someplace that I would not want to be because, you know, into the corners is Bila. Four wide heading into turn 1. This is the spot that you don't want to be in the top line because, you know, if you're heading into a corner at almost 190 miles an hour, heading into the corner, getting tapped, car's going to shoot up the track and right into O'Shea's line. But Bila, very risky move, making it 4 wide right there, and you know, got into the back of Glasgow, so he did make a position up there. He might try to do it again, get onto the inside or maybe outside of Glasgow. Glasgow dives down low and picks up Ken Copeland. Copland's going up. You see Bila's right there. Wasn't cleared for that move and dives back down. So separation happening. A little bit of hair racing moments right here in that front pack. And as everybody's getting lined up and getting back into their grooves, that bottom line of the 2-car lane ahead of Hutchison and Bila. But here comes Bila and Hutchison and that 30 and Jacob Reed. The reason why I keep messing up Jacob Reed's name is because he's running a custom. Thank you, Mercedes W12.
Happens to the best of us.
I mean, well, we can talk for ages about the W12 paint stuff, but we will avoid it. We will avoid it. We are well and truly due a caution. The fact that we haven't had a caution is a miracle. So any laps that we've got now without a caution are just bonuses because, well, I think Bila in particular going 3 wide at points. Wow, look at the side there. Hutchinson, I think, had to, you know, put some opposite lock on that because Bila gave him a very hard shove and they may be turning at the same time and again. And so I think I mean, it's only a matter of time, obviously.
He's
I've
got
been saying
damage
that
from
throughout,
that.
but Vila is really upsetting the car. Hutchinson, he can do it down here, that's not too bad, but doing it
He
through
gave him damage from
1
that
and 2,
jump.
that's not smart.
Yeah, Beeler gave himself and Hutchinson some damage from that. And, you know, that might be affecting Beeler's cooling very now. It's going to be affecting Hutchinson's drag of that car. It's not that much damage, but it's enough to upset a car, but it's a great push by Beeler once more. Beeler getting into the side panel, he's really pushing Hutchinson. He wants Hutchinson to get into that cleaner. He wants Hutchinson himself and Hutchinson to be able to go down low. He's not clear, but Hutchinson is clear now. He's no longer clear, as here comes Kevin Kittle in that bottom line, training past him once more.
Yeah, we're officially halfway through this race, and I believe I'm going to give it 5 more laps before we get caution here. I'm putting money down.
Oh, you're great.
How much money?
$2.
All right, $2 bet, 5 laps. I'm going to go over.
Oh, I'll go on to happily. Happily. No way of keeping 5 laps on this. This is
Just
any
let me
corner
pop
now.
into the driver's chat.
Well, you know, you're at 5. Sam's under 5, and I'm at, you know, anything past 5. What lap are we on? 27? 28? Okay. We're on lap 28, heading into 29. 4 laps to go. And I'm taking bets in the booth. This is what the series has come down to.
Everyone on the
Welcome to
YouTube chat is
Talladega.
welcome.
I believe
Lets us know
gambling.
how many
Yeah,
laps.
gambling is legal here, so
think.
we're good.
Oh, lots of switching about there for Nethry. Really starting about. Fortunately, didn't make any contact with Kitzman, and still that 27 car in back right. Very much the blockage of it. I think Copeland is maybe starting to be a bit more passive, and maybe O'Shea as well. We do know that he's got a little bit of damage. He also seems to be a little bit passive at the moment. But he's certainly, I think, the front 6 really fighting very hard for this one. I think Beeler and Hutchinson maybe, and Nethry as well, and Kisman, I guess, because he's in the lead. Looking like the most aggressive drivers at the moment. They really want to be at the front, seemingly. They'll be saving a lot of fuel in the positions that they are, but probably not enough to go to the end of the race. In fact, some drivers who didn't pit earlier on may need to be coming in for a green flag pit stop quite soon.
Yeah, those green flag pit stops can't come soon enough for these top drivers, and I feel like that pushing and shoving and people dropping down to that bottom line might be for that reason, being like, I need to go into the pits very soon, and if they crash in front of me, I don't want to, but the top 4 have not dropped into the pits yet, and they've been really pushing as well as we head across the checkered line for 20 laps to go. Sam, you got 2 laps left until you run out of that bet.
I'm very confident in holding that bet.
Well, one of us has got to be wrong.
2 of us.
Yeah, that's a good point. 2 of us.
There's 3 of us in the booth. A little bit of lead in from Sergey back there. I think Sergey is definitely dealing with engine temps and is just trying to find the best way to cool that engine down. But that tail is really long. That top 6 is really aggressive. Bila, you know, he's no. Oh, look how much he's pushing Hutchinson right there. He was buried in that bumper coming out of Ford.
You gotta wonder, is he doing more harm than good to both their cars? He's pushing very, very hard. We're gonna start seeing more dents form into both of their cars as they keep trying to push each other.
Reed dropping off the back, looking up top, trying to, yeah, he's doing his own engine cooling. Just a little bit of movement up front as well. I believe Jason Nethery. He's dipping down low right there. I love the super front bottom. I am not biased at all of that bottom lane. But, you know, that front, I think with everybody starting to feel like, hey, I need to drop into the pits, there's a big separation up front. I feel like we might start seeing some pit stops in the next lap. As Sam, you've lost your $2.
Yes, okay. Yes. Wow, okay, I swore I'd never gamble again, but here we are. What are you doing, mate? It will be open to you in 5 working days. I was just about to say Repisad and Talladega are about to get lapped. They are. You can see them up in the distance. They got damage. And, well, this is very bad news for both of them because one of them isn't going to get the Lucky Dog. It's especially bad news for Modos, albeit Modos is in this pack.
Yeah,
he might be able to go with them past those, past Repisad and Talladega. But in hindsight, those guys should have taken the faster pair. But to I can see why they've got this wrong because how we haven't had a caution is a miracle, frankly. So, but they really need one now in the next couple of laps.
And I won the bet.
You won the bet. You are now $4 richer, my friend.
Yay. This is going down as a day where it's my first gambling win. Okay, it's the second one ever since Sam owed me $10 for my first 3.5 broadcast at Imola, but you know.
Yeah.
Sam's a winning champion, so he could dangle that one. I could dangle that Sam still owes me $10 from that.
You know what? I was expecting fate to be a cruel mistress. I thought a wreck was immediately going to happen after they crossed that line to bring the lap count down.
No, they're still green, and I feel like everyone's diving out to that bottom line. They might have at least 5 laps of fuel remaining in these cars because everybody's going to that bottom line right now and just waiting until that right opportunity to go back into the pit lane. But green flag pit stops are going to be crucial right here. And with drivers that have not gone to the pits, 8 laps newer than the drivers that have not gone to the pits, Copland, Glaskov, Nethery, Hutchinson, Kittleman. All those drivers have not gone to the pits. Everybody else can go on for at least 7 or 8 more laps on these tanks. And, you know, nobody can make it to the end of this race, so it's all going to be down to strategy very soon, or if there is a caution. And I feel like we're going to start seeing our first green flag pit stop within, I don't want to start saying estimates, but I think 2 laps.
I would definitely say 2 laps.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen any green flag pit stops all season, as far as I'm aware. Not any properly scheduled ones. We've had enough cautions all the way. For those just joining, 1 caution so far. I got one on lap 8 or 9, I believe, when we were going 3 wide constantly for the first kind of 10 laps or so. Then we had the caution. Then we had a period of real passiveness from the drivers, and then we kind of turned to this. It got crazy for a while. If anything, this is a little bit calmer, but once again, still those top. Well, now it's kind of, Harley's managed to make his way up now. He's all of a sudden up into 8th position. Maybe he's being a bit racy. Beeler's dropped down to 7th place, so he's had a poor few laps, but really kind of see those top 8 or so as racy. And then you've got that long queue of cars. I think certainly right and backwards have always been super passive, and then others have kind of joined them in that ethos. But as we get closer and closer, they will start to get a bit more racy. And of course, if we get to 8 laps to the end with no one pitting, well, that indicates that the drivers who did pit early on will be able to go to the end of the race. But we're still a little bit away from that. We're really holding our breaths to see what's going to happen if they are going to have to pit, because this is getting fairly close right now.
Yeah, and Alessandro, we see Tony and Alessandro going to that top line, letting everybody by up there. These two have been, sitting at the back, and they are going to be lapped. And, Motos is in the back of this group right now. But, with how damaged Alessandro and Tony are, I am not expecting them to be passed by Motos. Well, I'm expecting them to be passed by Motos, who's at the back of this group. And Tony and Alessandro have been so off the pace that, Motos could definitely challenge them and pass them right there. Because Motos didn't take his line, but, everybody's back in the one giant pack right here.
Yes, I'm very confused on why Alessandro did not take their faster pair.
He's Alessandro. He does whatever he wants. If you know the guy, you just know this is what he just does. 13 laps to go, and this is when we're going to start seeing a driver go into pits. No, we are not.
I think this is time for a new bet. Are we actually going to see Jazz come into the pits? It might be
Yes.
that they can just get to the end of the race.
They will
I mean, we have to
They
say for
will
the
run
past
out
10
of
laps
gas.
that they will have to come into the pits. I don't know. Maybe they won't have to, but in all seriousness, the guys who did pit, if they have been fuel saving, they can get to the end of the race from here surely, because they saved 8 laps of fuel. We did a few laps up to the caution as well, and yeah, they're going to be pretty much home and dry if they have been saving fuel. Maybe that's part of the reason why we've had that single file train of cars near the back. They've just been half docile this entire time.
It
So
might
we
be
are
what
gonna have 11 laps to go.
you know, Talladega, it might be what Talladega and Tony have done, because they haven't dropped off that pace. I think Alessandro Talladega and Tony might be trying to do that right here, not make it to the end. Well, make it to the end with that amount of fuel. Well, Talladega is damaged, but Tony might be doing the same thing. I'm not sure, because Tony's car looks fairly nice. I'm surprised why Tony is not pushing with everybody else. So I feel like Tony's just been being pushed by Talladega, and Talladega and Tony Repsard might have been working together. You know, get lapped, but there's a caution, get the lucky dog. But you know, they would have enough fuel to make it to the end of the race as Talladega's modified car drops out of the pack and sits at the back behind. Who's that from? That was 48 of Andrew Roos. And here we go, pit stops.
Here we go. Okay, so it is
and,
really marginal then. So remember, the drivers came into the pits after 8 laps earlier on. So it's going to be very close to see if the drivers who did pit under the first caution can
Teammates
get to the end of
pitting
the
as
race,
well.
because it seems like they're going to be 2 laps short, but no doubt there's a possibility of saving that amount of fuel.
Yeah, definitely. And the two teammates, Kev Kittleman and Jason Nethery, went into the pits. Nethery, big lockup heading into there. Almost looked like they were going to make contact, but they were the first drivers into the pits. And with them being teammates, they could definitely work together up there. But it's a slow stop by Jason Nethery. I think he might have sped into the pit lane. And yeah, he did sped into the pit lane. He's being held in there.
That's exactly what I was going to say earlier, because he was coming in there really, really hot, locked up the brakes, so he could not slow down his car in time, as we see Martin pulling into the pits now.
Yeah, Martin
Going
Glasscock.
too fast, too fast.
Too fast? You calling it?
Too fast.
You know, you always got to
everyone
practice these
who-
pit stops.
It's the trickiest. It's the trickiest thing often. Is yeah, getting it down to the speed as Nethery. Wow, he's still stationing. What is going on with Nethery? That's a huge hold. Yeah, it must have
50
just been a stop and
seconds.
hold. So that would have been 40 seconds most likely. That is tough stuff. Joe's taking 2 tires, of course, on the most part it seems. Yeah, just
Or just
2
fuel and
tires,
go.
I believe.
Or just fuel and go.
Or just fuel. Yeah, that's a good
He
shout.
did not get the penalty. I'm genuinely surprised. He looked like he was going too fast.
Hudson just escaping with the skin of his teeth. No tires, just fuel and go. Lightning McQueen strategy. So we got a top line for me. Here comes Motos out of nowhere, getting into that Andrew Roos in that top line. Out of nowhere. Here comes Motos to that top line. That top line, they were calling that. They were just waiting for the drivers who have not pitted yet to dive into the pits. Now that they've done that, everybody who went there shot up to the front of the pack now, and they are now racing towards the flag. I believe that they can make it to the end of this race now.
I think some of them can. I think the guys who have been holding back can. I think a few of these AMs who have been leading the whole way, particularly
Bielek
Gitsman,
can.
he's led a lots of
I don't
laps,
believe
and
Bielek
Hutchinson.
I don't believe Bielek can. He's been pushing a lot. Luka Korlev might be struggling a bit, though he's been very conservative with how he's been driving up there. You see Luka just in that draft, staying up high with Reed, and I'm surprised Reed is back up there in the lead after blowing his engine. Fast repairs. Here comes Korlev diving down low, and Luka Korlev up into the lead of this race now. You know, I don't think he can have enough time, but you know, I feel like some of these drivers might be waiting on cautions, but everybody's gone into the pits now, and you know, had at least a penalty or something. We're going to start seeing more drivers a lap down. Sergey Glaskov is the next one ahead of this pack, and he is right there.
Apparently the drivers who did pit recently, Hutchinson is at the front, then it's Copeland, then it's Glasgow. They all kind of separated out quite a bit. Glasgow had a very long pit stop, must have taken tyres, I imagine 17 seconds. So, maybe adds up about right, so that was certainly a mistake from him. And yeah, the Evo guys have been able to get a little bit clear, and you can see he's just swallowed up by the pack. He'll be able to keep up with them easy, especially with those fresh tyres. But yeah, not good for Glasgow. He needs to try at least to keep as first place out of the lapped runners, because then you'll get the lucky dog, as now Copeland is the next to get swallowed up.
Bila is lifting and coasting. You can see him getting a big tail to Motos ahead. He's fallen back, and I feel like Bila is out of, doesn't have enough fuel left on that car, and he does have that hood damage as well. He's jumping up. I feel like I feel like everyone behind him might start trying to pass Bila, because Bila, I don't think, can make it to the end. But he's going to try to stay that first car on that bottom line. But we're starting to see 3 wide again. Here we go. That top line getting excited. We're 4 wide heading into turn 1. At the bottom, it's Motos. In that second lane, it's Adam Wright. Then it's O'Shea up top. They were passing, I believe, Vince Hartley. Who was at the very top of that. They somehow made it out of there alive, but then now we're back to 3 wide, racing 2 rows deep. Motos in the bottom. That's Glasgow in the middle. And up top is O'Shea once more, as we're starting to see that 3 wide mentality go over here. We're going to get into a massive fight very soon of drivers who haven't gone into the pits since that first caution. They've been holding off, and some drivers who have been pushing to the very end have been very active at the front. This is going to turn into who has enough fuel very soon, and who knows that they can make it to the end. And oh boy, I hope you're ready for this one.
Here we go. We're going to see lots of aggressive moves here. I'll be surprised if we're not 3 wide with 2 to go once we get down to the 2.
Now we're seeing Glasgow jump up to that outside line above O'Shea, making that 3 wide, but neither of those drivers really have any help out there. O'Shea does have the draft of the car ahead of him of Vince Hartley. Vince Hartley's been very silent for most of this race. I feel like Vince Hartley might have enough fuel to make it to the end. I do see 1 car blinking out there in the background. Not sure who that was. Might have been the 74.
Also, oh, sorry, did not mean to cut you off there, partner.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, I'm loving the checkerboard pattern right now, the amateur and the pro in the mix up on the leaderboard right now, as it's anybody's game with 3 to go.
At this point, I don't think anyone's thinking of AMs versus pros right now. It's, I'm going to make it to the end. This is my strategy to make it in. Also, this is the least amount of cars on that top line since the formation lap. What is this bottom line? 3 laps to go. Everyone's all lined up behind Jacob Reed, who blew his engine to cause the first crash. Well, he's sitting at that bottom line right now. Jacob Reed in the hot seat. He's being pushed really well by Adam Wright in that second place. Luka Korolev sitting in third of that bottom line. But look up top. Here comes that 92 of Harley being pushed by the 23 of Glasgow. O'Shea is coming up to that front line. More cars are joining that front line. Here comes Mark Redford jumping up there. Biela's jumping up to that top line. We're going to go 3 wide off the exit, and it's going to be Harley now up into the lead. 3 wide down the Talladega super stretch right there. We got a little bit of movement. Reed got loose right there, and there's a big crash with 2 laps to go. We are going green, white, and checkered here at Talladega. Massive crash. Mark Redford involved once again. Reed got bumped from behind, and it caused a massive crash down that straightaway. Oh my god.
Chaos with the fuel as well, having to run an extra few laps. You will have to come into the pits. Do they even have enough fuel to get to the pits? A couple of them might be struggling under the pace car. So tricky stuff right there. So Wright seemingly has the lead. Harley in second place. And I wonder what was going on there. There was lots of movement from a few of the drivers. Noah's had to tow back to the pit, so they'll all get back to the pits at least. But Reed, already using his fast repair, we know.
Oh, Redford got a great run and just slammed into the back of him. And, oh, that is unfortunate. You know, we could bring him in, but I don't want to bring in Mark right there. Redford got a great run, got into the back of Reed, and, you know, he just slanted to the back of him right there. That really upset the car. Sergey Glaskov is going to be getting the lucky dog right there. And, you know, if I was Alessandro Daldone, I'd be using your fast repair right now.
Absolutely. No better time than now.
He's out of contention, really, to even use it, really. But, you know, it's all going to be about track position. Who's going to go into the pit lane? The first one, I can guarantee not going to the pit lane, it will be Mark Hutchison, who will be retaking the lead if everybody goes into the pits to fill up their car. If they have enough fuel, everyone's looking that bottom line. We have a few people already showing that they're taking it. Here they go. Everyone diving down.
Oh,
Everybody diving down. If that crash didn't happen, they would have made it to the end. Mark Redford, Ruse Hutchison will be retaking the lead with Glaskov right behind him. And everybody else going in for tanks of fuel. Don't know how much fuel, as we see the wrecked car of Redford and Ruse. Championship leader Andrew Ruse getting a pretty big hit right there. But, you know, fast repair. Get all that set. Just dump a little bit of fuel in there and get going. Outside of Donna, fast repair as well. No. Oh, it looks like Jacob Reed might have picked up a penalty. Yep, Jacob Reed speeding penalty into the pit lane.
No, I think he's just repairing the car because he's already used his fast
Oh,
repair.
yes, that's right.
So he can't
right.
repair it. And Dardoni has taken his fast repair, but he is a lap down. Now, where will Repusard be? Because I think Repusard's been given a waiver round. Perhaps maybe he got it instead of Glaskov. But yeah, he will still be behind everyone who's pitted. So Repusard a lap down for a little while, but he's been able to make up.
Glaskov goes to the pits. No.
Yeah, well,
Tony was lifted coasting, and he's going to be getting tires. But, you know, he can, because he stayed out in front of that safety car. Can we get a track map up there? Where is the safety car compared to Tony?
Oh, he'll get out in front, yeah.
Yeah, he got his lap back by doing that. So our championship hopeful, Tony Repsard, is now back on that lead lap. That was smart driving by Tony right there.
And Hutchinson's dropped down to 4th position, I'm saying. Was Hutchinson 4th beforehand?
No, he was the first car not a lap down. Remember, he went into the pits on lap 41. And he was almost lapped by the field, but with that crash behind him, he was able to jump a few cars. But Harley, Corlev, and Wright were able to get out in front of Hutchison with their pit stops to just splash and go 5 seconds, 7 seconds, and 8 seconds. So the one with the least amount of fuel in their car is Vince Harley. He took the least amount of fuel, 5.28 seconds in the box. You know, the least amount of time in the box was 4.92. That was by Bila. Average about low 6s, high 5s being taken by everybody. Their time in the box. Here comes Glaskov into the pits. Going to be using a sledgehammer on that car. Very damaged car. But Vince Harley, currently your leader, as we're getting ready to let them loose. Green-white checkered style. Apex Racing overtime. And look at the quarter panel by Korlev right there. The back right of his car really messed up. He's going to be giving a lot of draft to Hutchison. Okay, overtime. Who are we looking for?
You know, I'm expecting Hutchison to make the moves here and take this race tonight.
I feel bad for Hutchinson that he's not leading because he's nailed the strategy. He was top of the drivers. He did have to pit earlier on. Although I guess you could feel bad for everyone who would have got to the finish if it weren't for this green-white checker. I think Korolev's going to do this. He hasn't won a race so far this season. Korolev, he's come close a few times. Only pro up in the top 5 at the moment. So yeah, I back him to stay as well.
I'm going to say a wild card here. Sufi, 64. Been very quiet all day, but I feel like the Belgium has this in him to to just sneak through there and get up there.
Let us know what you think on the chat.
Put your predictions in the chat as well, and if you're in the YouTube comments watching the VOD, make fun of our predictions. But we're all lined up, ready to go. The butterflies are in the chest right now. Well, certainly for me. I'm not sure about some of these drivers, but I can guarantee that some of them are feeling a little bit nervous. Andrew Roos has a bit of a gap to Redford right there, and I can tell you not a lot of drivers going to be backing away from this fight, but I see Tony Repsar hit the very back of this pack. Just sitting away from here, and here we go. Pace cars off. Green, white, checkered. Korolev already practicing his start a little bit, but pace car is off. All in the hands of the 92 of Vince Harley, getting ready to let them loose and wild here in Talladega as we go. Green, green, green. And Harley gets a good jump. Korolev immediately jumps to the bottom line. Harley, Korolev, and Wright are top three. We see Hudson being pushed up top by that is Redford. Holding that top line up there with that top line. Can get very excited. Redford dropping down to the back behind Sufe. Sufe sitting in fourth. Hudson in fifth. Hudson's left out there with no help right now. Heading into the back straight for the first time. Jumping up to that top line. Here comes Bila onto the back of Hudson right now. I see onto that outside line, more outside line takers right there as well, as that's O'Shea jumping up to the front. 74 also jumping up front of Tulo as we're side by side heading into that bottom line. That bottom line getting very bunched up right now. Everybody waiting for that opportunity right now. Is that flag that we've been looking for all night. Look at the push by Bila and Hutchison up top as the white flag is in the air. 1 lap to go here at Talladega. Hudson getting a great push by Bila. Hudson and Bila. Hudson's now got the lead. Bila's being a very good pushing driver right there. Hudson now has the lead. He's cleared that bottom line, and Bila's going to have to still be pushing right there back in the pack. Kittleman being pushed by his Indy Autosport teammate, the 34, getting into the back of him. That's Jason Nethery helping him out right there. One driver dropping down low. He feels like this is getting a little bit too crazy. Hudson, Bila, Harley. There goes Hudson down low. The race still going on. He's got pushed by Bila. Korolev has the lead right now. That's a big crash. Korolev and Alessandro Daldani are being pushed right now. Daldani is pushing Korolev. Bila sits in second place, but there's carnage behind, and just like we saw in Daytona, Alessandro Daldani is going to be pushing the winner across the line. Mark Redford sitting in second place now. It's a scrap game right now. Daldani's raced to the line. He's the lap down. He's got his lap back at the line. Luka Korolev wins at Talladega. Mark Redford races to the line. Mark Redford's going to come home in second place. Thor Tulo finishes in third, followed by Repsar, Ruse, Bila, O'Shea in seventh. Kev Compline had everything right there with Mark Hutchison. Finishes in 8th and 9th. And who was to blame for all that? Because I saw it was his car being shot over, and
yeah, he went low.
Was it Bila who got into the back of him?
Bila was in the middle, I know that, and Harley as well was right in there. I don't think Harley really had anything to do with it, or no, so Harley was on the middle, so it was the contact between all of them. And yeah, Bila was trying to make something happen there, going down the middle. Did Hutchinson
there's just no
him?
room left right there, and
yeah, I mean it's still going on here, and then
there was no room left for Bila to go. He got a nose in there. Risky look by Bila. Hutchison tried to hold him off, but you know, Bila wasn't lifting. Hutchison wasn't giving room back. He was being squeezed on that top line. But Bila's look, I think, caused that, and then you know, Hutchison got into him.
we see
but Luka Korolev
on board for that one, because I think he managed to gain most of anyone.
He finished fourth.
Yeah, he managed to get Roos on the line, so if he could stick with this right to the line, because, I mean, well, he was miles back, wasn't he? And then he must get a monumental run to get past Roos, because he was behind Roos going to turn 4. And then,
he's not lifting. He's not lifting. He's not lifting. The seas parted, and now look at this run by Tony. 1, 2, 3, 4 cars. He sees this 3-car pack that's going slow at the line. Look at this run by Tony. Everybody's just now getting up to momentum. Is Tony going to go to the very top? Because he sees Ruse right there. And here
it's Ruse, I think that's
there he goes, sniped. There's Bila. as well. And then at the line, he doesn't get the back of the 74 right there, but Tony Repsard played that like a fiddle right there. And he outscored his championship rival.
Just to think that this man was all the way in the back up until that point.
Hey, that's playing strategy right there. And, you know, Mark Redford, who unfortunately was the cause of that green-white checkered, finishing in second place. Mark is going to be over the moon right there. And, you know, somebody else who's over the moon. Luka Korlev, Sam, you called it.
Yeah, I was just about to say. Absolutely nailed it. And I think very deserved winner as well. He's been really good this season, Korlev. And, yeah, at long last, gets his first win of this season. Can't remember if he won in the Truck Series, but it's certainly his first race win of this season.
Well,
Yeah,
you know what that means. Sam cannot be made fun of in the VOD. He's got immunity.
Oh, lovely.
Though we can still make fun of Sam anyway. Mark Redford finishes in second, followed by Thor Thulo. Tony Repsard in fourth, followed by Andrew Roos in fifth place. Henrik Biela in sixth. Roy O'Shea in seventh. Kev Copeland, Mark Hutchison, Matthew Sophie, Vince Harley, Alexander Daldani, Adam Wright, Jacob Reed, Jason Nethery, Kevin Kittleman, Giannis Motos, and Sergey Glasgow at the end of our results. But one man is standing above them all. And his luck finally came for him. Luka Korlev takes the win, and we have Luka standing by with Sam.
Hi, guys.
Yes, welcome, Luka. Congratulations. At long last, that's first race win of the season. We got to go to that final lap immediately, or really that whole restart process for you. You just seem to be able to side your way through it all. I mean, how was the big wreck from your perspective?
Well, I don't know what to say actually, but I think I haven't caused that. I think I haven't caused this wreck, but I think somebody, I think the 69 got into 33 or something. But well, I mean, luckily for me, I managed to avoid that. Yes, and just like to go until the finish. I think nobody was behind me. After this wreck, maybe, I don't know. I really don't know. So yeah, I mean, it's just I don't know. There's so much luck on my side, I think. So yes, I don't know what to say. So,
Well, on the notes of luck, you have been, at least from where I've seen, quite unlucky this season when it's come to some of these finishes. You finished in the top 5 a few times, so you were certainly due that race win eventually. What were you thinking when the green and white checker came out? Were you thinking this is good for me, or were you quite disappointed when you saw that green and white checker come out?
I don't know actually, but I just knew that I was a little bit low on the fuel. I think I got like 5 liters left at this time, so I decided to go onto the pit road and refuel a little bit, and just in case if we would have like more green-white checkers further. But I don't know, I think maybe 50-50, I should say. So yes, I would say like that.
And were you fuel saving to get to the finish? I mean, during that period between the first and second caution, were you thinking that you could get to the end, or but by fuel saving, or were you still just keeping it pinned throughout?
Well, yes, actually I decided to, after this restart, the first restart, I decided to go to the end, just to sort of, yes, a little bit saving fuel and just like sitting in the back, waiting maybe for some wrecks or something. So I just did play it safe, and in the end, fortunate for me, it played the good role. And yes, so basically it is like that from my side.
Awesome. Well, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to, Luka?
Well, I just want to give a shout out to my Russian sort of viewers who are watching the stream right now. Thanks a lot, love ya. And just basically, yes. I mean, it's such a pleasure, such an honor to win this race, especially Talladega. So, yeah, nothing more from my side.
Awesome. You got any maybe champagne in the fridge that you could have this evening?
I think maybe I should say vodka or something like that. Definitely.
Oh, excellent. Yes. Well, have a good night, and we'll see you back for the final round of the season next week.
Yeah. Cheers. Thanks.
Luke Korolev there, your winner tonight here at Talladega. And just watching back at that incident, well, we got Mark Redford in here, and just before you have a chat with him, Austin, Mark, bad luck, because you so nearly got through that wreck, and then you just got a tap. Honestly, it would have been such a good run to the line, but you must have thought that you were through it all, and then just that small hit right at the end.
Yeah, I did. I thought the seas had opened, and I was going to get through, and then yeah, the is it the pink and whatever colours car just clipped the rear of my car.
Well,
Yeah,
Mark,
sorry.
you qualified up front, and then it got a little bit hectic. You dropped to the back of that pack after starting up on pole fairly early on. I was expecting you to take it very easy, and then when everybody at the front went into the green flag pit stops, you got right up in there. And I thought you were going to make a run for the lead heading into white flag, and then that incident happened to bring out the overtime. What was your point of view from that?
Yeah, so with myself and Matty have been saving fuel, so we knew that we could get to the flag, so waited till 2 laps to go, and then we went for it. And I knew that I was catching up in the middle lane, and the guy was on his own, and I saw a gap and went for it, and he basically moved across and blocked me, and as a result of that, there was a crash.
Yeah, unfortunately, that happened. But hey, to go from pole to being a crash and sitting in the pit lane, did you think that you're going to be back finishing in second?
You never know. You never know at Talladega. So yeah, on the restart, I was next to Matteo, who I was working with. So yeah, I led him out of the low line and got behind him and just decided we would push and see what happened. And unfortunately, Matteo got caught up, but I almost got through, as you saw. But still, second place, fantastic.
Yeah, very fantastic result for you, Mark. Before I let you go and breathe this one off and get ready for the finale, anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank you guys at ARL for putting on the league and doing the wonderful broadcast as ever. And I want to thank Will Redford for being my son and my supporter, and Nest in the Woods, my sponsor.
Pretty sure they're all happy about the congrats on the amateur victory here today, Mark.
Thank you.
And Hex, do you want to talk with someone?
I mean, if you want to toss somebody my way, I could definitely give it a go.
Let's get Matthew up here.
And I am standing by with Matthew. Matthew finishing P10 tonight. We're going to be talking about that big crash later today. But as I saw throughout the race, I saw a lot of drivers moving up and down. Would you say that engine temps were a big challenge tonight?
Not sure. I didn't really pay attention to my engine temps, honestly. My strategy was just tucking behind Mark Redford there. We were on comms together, and yeah, we made that early pit stop at the early cautions. We topped it off twice, and then we just hang in there for fuel saving through most part of the race. So when it was then within 8 to go or so, we tried going, and then obviously something else happened with the caution, and yeah. So and then the last restart, obviously it was. I thought at when the last crash happened, I thought I cleared the leaded cars and I had a free sailing to to the finish line, but then I just got clipped on the left, and that was that.
Yeah, unfortunately, you did get collected there on the last caution that we were going through. That big one, as always happens at Talladega.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost guaranteed. But you
Yeah,
guys
it
were
does.
driving very well.
Yeah, like I said, Mike and I were on the comms. We were also in Daytona. We're unofficial teammates. Let me say it like this. So yeah, it's especially at Super Speedway Racing here and at Daytona. It's great to have somebody on the comms and to be able, with Mark's experience, to be able to draft with. And I learned a lot today actually. So big thanks to him. And yeah, let's move on to the next one.
And what would you say was one of the biggest things that you learned tonight on track?
Well, in the past, I've found myself sometimes being too cautious on speedways, especially in the final stages, in the final few laps. You have to make moves to make it happen, or you will get stuck and not go anywhere, or at least you'll go backwards. Now with Mark, he told me, now you go through the middle, go there, go for the gap, do this, do that. So I learned a bit to be more aggressive, and I hope I can carry on that experience in the next few super speedway races that I will attend.
Absolutely, yeah. You got to be a little bit more aggressive on super speedways. It's definitely something that you learn over time. But you drove one heck of a race out there tonight. Is there anybody that you wanted to thank?
Yeah, well, you guys for the broadcast. Thank you for bringing us the show. And again, I will thank Mark Redford today. Congratulations on his second place, and thanks for being my teammate today on the comms and talking me through this and sticking with me.
Well, great job tonight. Matthew of Sim Racer Esports finishing P10 tonight at Talladega as we get ready to move on to the next one. Gentlemen, any thoughts tonight?
Well, it was a fantastic race. A lot less carnage that we were talking about. You know, the field really was pacing themselves after that first crash. Then we had that second one. And we all know that final lap was going to get a little bit wild, and it certainly did. And, you know, Talladega did a very Talladega thing with this race. But, hey, surprise winner and everything as we get ready to head into our final round, which will be
Homestead. Homestead.
Which will be at Homestead. Thank you, Sam. I almost said completely the wrong thing because the Apex schedule was not showing up for me. But yeah, we're going to Homestead Miami Speedway next week for the finale. Yay!
Always a fun track.
For the finale of the ARL NASCAR B-Class Championship. Going to be at Homestead. From Talladega, though, that's going to be the end of this broadcast. Thank you, everybody, for joining me today. Has been joined by Hex Valentine, Sam Fitzpatrick, and Samuli Kumo, our wonderful wizard in the production booth. And I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a good night.